In these dusty classrooms, the bell still rings. The children still sing. But the lessons aren't always learned.
You go then to the classroom and you find a mix of children who probably, if you are from Kenya, for example, they can speak Kiswahili. They cannot, if you are from the local community, they can also not speak the local community. If you are from Ethiopia and you go to another grade and you'll find the population is from Sudan, is from Somalia, is from DRC, they are bringing different languages.
Here in Dadaab, where over 100,000 children learn under the shadow of displacement, English and Kiswahili, the backbone of Kenya's education, are foreign tongues.
But we've also found that they prefer to learn in their language. They prefer to learn in Somali language, but are very open when it comes to learning English, and this is both ways for the learners and even the teachers, because they see English as a language of promise, a language that will help them in the future to get jobs, to interact better. But when it comes to Swahili, there's a bit of more negative attitudes towards Swahili. They don't really see where is this really taking us beyond these classrooms.
The teachers here speak Somali, some Arabic, but Swahili, that's where the struggle begins. Even English is tough, but at least children see it as the language of opportunity. Kiswahili, they don't see its value.
So, for example, they've been even allowed to use bilingual methods in teaching. So, using Somali to support the teaching of English in the classrooms or to support the teaching of concepts. So, being able to do what we call code switching to support language is not something that is usually necessarily pushed, but it's important to understand contexts and to use localized methods to support learning, bearing the context in mind. And then even parents have complained about language learning comprehension for those particular learners because the teachers are not proficient, or there is a mismatch in the language between the teachers and the learners, and that has affected learner outcome.
Hali hii ni janga linaloendelea sasa hivi.
We have an enrollment of 1019 boys and 102 girls, a total of 2,021 learners. Number of teachers we have in this school, the teachers we have in this school are divided into two. We have incentive teachers and we have national teachers who are TSC but paid by LBDF. So we have 19 incentive teachers and 4 national teachers.
Most teachers in these camps are refugees themselves, volunteers without formal training, standing in for a system stretched thin. They switch between Somali and English just to keep lessons alive, while Swahili barely gets an ear. Low pay drives trained teachers away. Volunteer teachers are left holding classes of 80, sometimes 100 pupils.
I teach all the subjects except Kiswahili. Our refugees, some of them, they not understand Kiswahili. But we call another teacher who knows Kiswahili, and then they will teach.
Do you yourself speak Kiswahili?
No, because I don't understand. I only speak English. And I can understand Kiswahili little.
It's not just a classroom problem. It's about identity and belonging.
Medium of instruction is English, and that's why we are making a lot of emphasis on that. That notwithstanding, I would also want to say it's also important for us to also give Kiswahili the importance that it also deserves. So we have guys drawn from different nationalities, and if you look at the countries where they come from, Kiswahili is not one of the key languages there. So if they have found that they cannot communicate, the interaction also is affected, because not every ordinary Kenyan can speak in English.
At the lower grade, the lower primary, they're being taught by maybe for example the incentive teachers. Most of them, they don't understand Swahili. So it becomes a challenge when this learner continues learning maybe in upper grades, like grade 6, where they'll get the national teacher to learn Kiswahili.
And yet, in these same classrooms, there are small sparks of hope.
the teacher is one of the greatest factors when it comes to improving learning. So if you intervene at the teacher level, then you'll have solved probably 40 to 50% of the learning issues.
I'm teaching in JSS section. Probably I'm one female teacher in that school, teaching junior school. Most girls like school, especially when they see a young teacher like me. They'll get attracted, whereby they'll be coming to school every day, and also they want to be like me.
Projects like Teachwell are building bridges, offering training, bilingual teaching materials, and a glimmer of hope. But without government policy, without recognition of refugee teachers, without real investment in Swahili, the bridges may collapse before the children ever cross them.
It's about anchoring the refugee education within the policy, within the system. If you look at the Education Act in Kenya, it needed to recognize and mention the refugee education. That way, then, it's not a choice. It is something that we have to deliver.
Here in Dadaab, learning isn't just about passing exams. It's about finding a voice in English, in Swahili, in any language that can carry these children beyond the camps and into a future they can call their own.
While in other parts of the country, students walk to class in uniform to a teacher with a textbook in hand, here at refugee camps, those are luxuries and not guarantees. Shortage of teachers and learning materials paint a grim picture of the situation and how dire it is. Yet, despite all this, their hunger for education remains unshaken. From Harial, Ifo, Dadaab refugee camp, I'm David Kagina.